Well, Ben, a hard-fought draw, but have you ever played in conditions like that before? My word.
Yeah, it's tough. Really tough conditions. Probably one of the worst I've played in. Made it really hard to gain any kind of control. Really unpredictable the way the ball was going, where it was landing. Really tough, and all in all, a good point.
Yeah, can you give us an idea of exactly what it's like to play in those conditions? Because you've got the horizontal rain, you've got the wind blowing from end to end as well. So I suppose that made the two halves very different.
Yeah, I think first half the wind was clearly going downhill for us, and then every so often it sort of starts swirling, so it's unpredictable. You lose track of where the ball's landing. You've got the driving rain in your face. The pitch is wet and firm, so it's skiddy, so that makes it harder as well. And you're playing against a good team who are very competitive, so put all that together, it makes for a really, really tough game. I thought we battled well.
Yeah, a really strong defensive performance, wasn't it? Because you're up against it at times.
Yeah, really strong in moments, individual moments and collectively. Still loads to improve, but considering the conditions, I thought it was a lot of good stuff, and we had chances to win the game as well, going the other way. Yeah,
it was your ball in, wasn't it, to Biggins at the back post, just headed it onto the crossbar, so close late in the game.
Yeah, that was a good moment for us, a good chance. I think we had 3 or 4 half chances where got into really good positions and didn't quite make the most of it, which is obviously something we're always looking to improve. And again, in really tough conditions, it is hard to create clear-cut chances.
Yeah, looking at the season as a whole, how are things going for you at the moment? Because I've just been speaking to your manager, and he was saying how many injuries you've got at the moment, making life a bit difficult for you.
Yeah, that does make things a little bit harder, but I think we're still going in a upward trajectory. I think league position isn't obviously where we want to be, but if you look at the first 8 games or whatever compared to the last 8-10 games, I think performances have in the main been really good, and it's just a matter of time, I think, before we put results together and fly up the league. So we've got to keep making sure we're working hard and training, putting performances on a Saturday, and then just making those fine margins turn in our favour in both boxes. And once we start doing that, I think we'll start pushing up the league.
Yeah. Does it affect the kind of dynamic, the mood in the camp when you've got players just seemingly constantly dropping out through injury?
A little bit, but I think players are just focusing on themselves. Injuries are part of the game. We've all been there at some stage in our careers. We've had injuries, so we know what it's like when you're injured. It's not a nice place to be. But also when you're playing and when you're in the squad every week, your main focus is yourself. So you want to put all your energy towards how you're doing and look after yourself and make sure you're giving the team everything first and foremost. When those lads that are injured start filtering back in, which they have been doing, obviously that's really positive for us, and I think we saw a couple more today that have just come back from injury, obviously Jamie Sterry's been out for a long time, so to have him back now is great.
Yeah, and a week on the training ground now, time to put some work in ahead of a home game next weekend.
Yeah, it gives us a chance with a really busy schedule coming up over Christmas and New Year, so plenty of work to do. And I think the spirit will be good off the back of a point in a tough game away from home.
Have you had a chance to dry off yet?
still shaking. Fine now. I mean, it was a really tough game, really hard conditions, and it kept stopping as well. We had a few lads go down, so that made it harder. And like I said earlier, it was a point today was a good point.
And credit to those fans behind that goal as well. And the open air terrace looked absolutely drenched, bless them. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I mean, we had a few throw-ins over there, and I looked into the stand a couple of times, and you could just see they're drowned. Massive thank you to them for making the trip and supporting us. We could hear them all game, and I think our away support has been really good. So if that can continue, then brilliant.